Hi there, it's Phil here. This is a follow-up to my original Magic Lantern YouTube video, so go and have a look at that if you haven't downloaded it and you are looking at installing that software. I cover how to do that in that video. Here on the HDMI path before it can actually switch to the feed from the sensor. Now, what do we see from the sensor? Well, if we want to clear all of this screen clutter, it's quite easy. What we do is we go to the info button on the back, so I'll reach over and press the info button, and that will, if you might need to press it twice, but that will essentially clear all of that screen clutter so long as you've got Magic Lantern loaded on your camera. However, what we've still got is a black border going around the outsides, and this causes quite a few people consternation. So it's very easy again to try to get rid of. What I'm going to do that is to invoke the Magic Lantern menu, and what you should see is that the top and the bottom of this screen, the black borders around there, will actually expand and disappear. So to launch Magic Lantern, you double click the trash button on your camera. You probably click it once or twice and watch the top and bottom of the black bars. So if I turn it straight off again, we can see that I've lost the top and bottom bars. So I've got the full resolution of the camera sensor or the live view screen. Now, your Canon camera is not necessarily naturally a 16:9 HD
In this video, I'll be diving in.
It is this 4:3 format. So if you want to be
in this video, I'll be
an
diving
HD proper 16:9 format ratio, you know you're going to have to lose the top and bottom of the image in order to move out those two far edges of the screen. Whilst you're live streaming, you may also want to make use of the autofocus function on the camera, and so long as your autofocus is turned on the lens, you can half press the shutter button and it will autofocus for you. Okay, good. Now, sometimes and tricks throughout the video. I hope you enjoy. So you've got your Canon EOS camera, maybe an old one, connected up via HDMI to your computer. You've got Magic Lantern installed and you've still got all of this screen clutter. We've got the focusing box around the middle, we've got data around the top, and we've got the black borders around the edges. So I'm going to go through one by one as to how we can remove those things from your screen. So the first thing we need to do is reach round the back of the camera there. So I'm going to reach around the back of the camera here, and I'm going to go to the menu button. Now, the menu button is not necessarily something that covers any of these things, but the menu button will firstly help us to clear the automatic power off problem that a lot of people seem to be having. So if I touch on the set button, we can see that if you've been using your Canon EOS for normal photography, it's quite possible that you've had it so that you can automatically turn the power off after 2 minutes, 4 minutes, something like that. Of course, that's what you would do to save the battery. Now, when you're trying to use it for a streaming, you don't want the camera to turn off. So what you do is you will click on the disable button. Typically, if you've had your camera turn off after 30 minutes, that setting here is the reason why. Of course, you need power into your camera, and so you need to be looking for a dummy battery in order to provide it with permanent power while you are streaming. I'm now going to just click on the menu button one more time to clear that menu. This screen that you see is just the HDMI signal that Canon sends out along the HDMI path before it can actually switch to the feed from the sensor. Now, what do we see from the sensor? Well, if we want to clear all of this screen clutter, It's quite easy. What we do is we go to the info button on the back. So I'll reach over and press the info button. And that will, if you might need to press it twice, but that will essentially clear all of that screen clutter so long as you've got Magic Lantern loaded on your camera. However, what we've still got is a black border going around the outsides, and this causes quite a few people consternation. So it's very easy again to try to get rid of. What I'm going to do that is to invoke the Magic Lantern menu, and what you should see is that the top and the bottom of this screen, the black borders around there,
Hey. I did it, James. With the help of a YouTube video, I was able to get the camera to work. I got the camera to work. And it turns out that the custom firmware that I've got on it is actually helpful and not a problem. The custom firmware allows me to get rid of all of the files. Yeah.
I mean, they're still